All right, everyone. We are going to go ahead and get started. My name is Casey Peterson. I'm the Vice President of Product here at Photofy. And also on the line with me is Monica Brady, who is our Head of Client Success. Uh, Welcome, Monica.
Hi.
All right. We are gonna take a few minutes and walk you through, first of all, some high level ideas around what Photofy is, what problems it can help you solve, and some kind of general best practices about how to use content in growing your business. And then Monica is going to dive right into a walkthrough from everything from how to log into your account, how to make your first Photofy, how to use the different templates and settings in there to really make content your own and make it something that is unique to you, which is one of the, I think, the big cool things about Photofy compared to some other ways of sharing branded content. We really let it make, really let you make it be your own design. And then we're going to take questions. So we're going to try to leave plenty of time for questions at the end. However, we don't really have a hard stop at the end of this webinar. If you are, we're going to stay online until we've answered all of the questions. A few housekeeping notes. This is being recorded. You can access the recording by coming back. Usually takes a couple hours for everything to work, but you can access the recording by coming back to the same link that you signed into this with. The same link that you got in your confirmation email, and then I'll also send an email to everyone who registered, whether or not they attended, with a link to come back and watch this. We're going to leave this up online for indefinitely, to my knowledge. So if you feel like we're going a little bit quickly, that's okay. We want to move quickly for time, but you can come back and rewatch this as many times as you need to. You can share it with friends or with your downline to make sure that they really understand how to use Photofy and can use it well. And again, if you have questions, there's a Q&A tab. That's really where we like to answer them. Just put them in there. If you have any kind of burning issues, or you all of a sudden realize that we are not, that you've lost audio or something and you need to let us know something, use the chat window for that. And feel free to talk back and forth with that as well. And I think that kind of covers all of our housekeeping notes. I'm going to repost a YouTube link. Now there is a chance on this call. This is our largest response from any webinar that we've done before. There's a chance on this call we may run out of room for live attendees. So there is a YouTube link that I just posted in the chat, and you can share that with people if you hear of people who can't log in. I just added that to our login page, or the sign-in page for this, so that new people coming in, if they can't log in, will know to access YouTube Live. We have a live stream going there as well. Now that won't stay around forever. We're going to bring that down afterwards, and then so only Norwex users can access this by our registration link moving forward. So this will just stay in the family. And so let's get started. Photofy exists for one really simple reason, and that is to help you create beautiful branded content in less than 30 seconds. We get a lot of questions sometimes around how do we compare to Canva, or you can do more stuff with Photoshop. Sure you can, but it also takes a lot of prep work, and it takes downloading assets and uploading assets and a lot of work to do things on those platforms. They're great platforms, and if you really want to be a designer, they're great platforms to go to. For the rest of us who just need something to share on our Facebook page, we really just want to pop up something new about new products that came out, or some of the features and benefits of, why choose Norwex as opposed to traditional cleaning methods, then Photofy is the place for that. You can really, literally, once you've kind of gotten the hang of it, you can create images to share, you can create content to share, that's beautiful. It looks professional, and you can do it literally in seconds. I use Photofy to create our own ads for the company all the time, and it goes super fast. So you have access to a ton of Norwex product photos, promotional images, logos, designs, templates that allow you to be as creative as you want to be, or to work as quickly as you want to be. You can pop into a repost that's already made for you, a template that lets you just kind of add in a little bit of text or an image really quickly, and create content super fast. Or you can really kind of create free-form content and be as meticulous and in-depth and detailed as you want to be. You get new graphics regularly. So there's seasonal updates, and there's a lot of options for new graphics that are coming all the time. So why do you do this? You guys probably already know, but user-generated content is way more important online than brand content or ads. Your followers are 4 times more likely to make a purchase based off something that you created that's authentic to you than based off like a really nicely produced branded piece of content off something that, you know, a corporate entity made, and you shared it, or it was shared from their platform. They're 4 times more likely to make a purchase based off of something that's unique to you than they are corporate things out there. And Photofy enables you to really rapidly post multiple times in multiple places in minutes rather than hours. And it really solves, you know, what this graphic is it takes more and more content now to really make an impact online. And Photofy helps you solve that issue so that you're not spending, you know, 20 minutes or an hour or 2 hours making your content to share for new products and upcoming events and invitations to parties. It lets you do that in seconds, and bypass the kind of the content bottleneck for your business. Why do it often? Facebook, you know, as we know, and Instagram is part of Facebook, is there's an algorithm that takes place that decides what you create, how what you create gets seen, and by whom it gets seen. And two of the key components there is it's affinity. So are there people who are interested in what you're making? The weight of engagement. So more engaging content gets seen by more people. So if people are commenting and liking it, it's seen by more people. And then there's time decay. So that's how often you're creating content. Photofy helps solve 2 of those issues. So it creates really engaging content, so people are more likely to like and comment and share. And it lets you create content more often, so that you're creating content regularly, and Facebook knows to show your content to more people. So those 2 pieces really help more of your content get reached, or more of your content reach the audience rather, than it would with, you know, just kind of traditional stuff that you would make. A few best practices to keep in mind as Monica is kind of going through this and showing you how to do all these things. You can use our scheduler function to plan out your week in advance. What I do, and what I've heard a lot as the best practice from people, is instead of trying to get up every day and think of something, you know, set aside an hour on a Monday or on a Sunday evening to plan out everything that you're going to post for the week, how you're going to share party invitations, how you're going to share about new events coming up, what new products you're going to share, what informational pieces you're going to share. Plan those out, get them done, put them in the scheduler, and then let Photofy take care of reminding you of when things need to go and where they need to go. You can follow up with new customers. So we're talking a lot about parties and invitations, but you know, making really nice personalized thank you notes that you can send by text message or online to thank new customers, or to welcome new consultants that have signed up underneath you, or to send out order reminders. You can do that by text, or you can do it by email, or you can do it on social media. Another best practice: post regularly and mix it up with additional things. A lot of people want to use just the stock stuff that's in our app, which is awesome. Selfies while using your products will probably sell more stuff than even our really beautiful stock stuff. So you can add in overlays, and you can add it, you know, put your selfies in templates, but use those as well. And don't forget to, you can use Photofy to create the graphics around your invitations and announcements. Now, Monica's going to show you how to use each of these things. You have lots of different content types, templates, reposts, and freeform content that I've already mentioned. Norwex has an inspiration stream, so you can see what other people are making, be inspired there if you're not very creative like me. You want to see what other people are doing and then kind of customize that and build your own version. There's an inspiration stream that you can see that allows you to do just that. One really cool thing that's easy to do with Photofy is you've probably noticed that, Instagram, when you make content there, it's a square. But if you make a content for an Instagram story or a Facebook story, that's a nice big vertical size. You can share wider content for Facebook posts or for Twitter posts, or a really nice long content for Pinterest posts. You can change your ratio sizes to match what your destination is really easily in Photofy, and then it will resize your templates and resize all your assets automatically to make that process really fast and easy. And so now I'm going to repeat a few of our housekeeping notes, and then I'm going to let Monica take it over and really begin showing you how to do all of these things. I'm going to stop sharing, Monica, so that you can
Okay.
so that you can take over. Really quick, again, if you have people who are having trouble getting in, there is a YouTube live link. I will post that one more time in our chat. If you're hearing from people who are having trouble getting in, there is a YouTube live link that you can go to. If you're having trouble staying connected, you can go there as well and watch on YouTube live. If you have questions, post them in our Q&A tab. You can also post them in the chat. It's a little easier for us to follow and make sure that your question gets answered. When Monica is done with her presentation, we're going to take the time to answer every one of your questions. We'll stay here as long as we can or as long as we have to answer every one of your questions, so that if it's we'll stay as long as we can. And whether it's I'm not really sure how to log in, or I didn't really see how you did that one thing, we'll walk through the entire process to show you how to do it. So Monica, I'm going to mute and let you take it away.
Sounds good. Thanks. Okay, so first and foremost, a lot of consultants will email into support and say, look, I just registered and I'm not seeing any Norwex things. And they're correct. So they're not seeing it because you actually need to log into the app. I'm going to show you how to do that. The base Photofy screen is this one right here. It's the boat on the water in the sunrise, maybe sunrise, sunset, probably sunrise. Anyway, pretty, but not the one we need to go to. So we're going to go to the menu screen, or the menu, by tapping on the three lines in the top left, and that's going to pop out the menu here. Right underneath the big word personal, you'll see sign in. So you're going to tap on that, and it's going to take you to the sign in screen. We do have some Android users that will see a pop-up message that has a list of email addresses. This is your Google Smart Lock. Do not choose one of these email addresses. For some reason, Google Smart Lock is not connecting. It was an Android update a little bit ago where it kind of mixed up email addresses and passwords, unless you deleted them and saved them again. So if you see that, if you're an Android user and you see a list of email addresses, go to the bottom, tap on none of the above, and that'll bring you here to the sign in screen. So once you're in the sign in screen, you're going to go ahead and just type in your email address and password. Oops. And you're going to spell it correctly, because otherwise it's not going to let you in. All right. And then you're going to tap on log in. Once you have logged in, it will bring you to your beautiful Norwex screen. Yay. Once you see this, you know that you are in and have access to all the cool things that Norwex has to offer. So the first thing that we're going to do, typically the first time that you sign in, you'll get a page saying, welcome Norwex user. Please fill out the following information, and it'll ask for a little bit of information like your name, your email address, or a phone number, website address. That won't pop up here because I've done it so many times, but you'll go ahead and enter that in and save it. And what those are, they're called tokens. They're placeholders for public-facing information. When you use the artwork or templates within the app, these things will automatically pull in that information that you type and save you some time, save you a little bit of headache in case you typo something. If you notice when you're using it that something is incorrect, it's really easy to change. You'll tap on the menu in the top left again. You'll go to settings and you'll go to manage your profile. This takes a couple seconds to pop up. Once it loads, it will, I don't know why this takes a while, but it does when it's connected. La-di-da-di-da. Sorry. For some reason, when it's connected to Zoom, it takes a little bit of the time. Okay, it's loading there. All right. So once you see that, you'll have your update tokens right here at the bottom. You can add your email. The ones with the little red asterisk are required, basically. These are the ones that will pop up on the list and say, fill these in. The additional ones, there's Facebook business, if you have a business page, personal, if you have a personal page. There are placeholders for these in certain templates. But once these are done, then you save them. Make sure that whatever you type in does turn, you'll notice it turns yellow here. Let's see. And it's, my autocorrect is having fun here. I don't want it to change. Okay. I don't know if you can see it, but it turns yellow and then you can save it and the line will turn green and it will let you know that it's been saved. You can do individual lines or you can hit save all at the bottom. All right, so that is tokens. We also have something called text presets. I'll get back into that a little bit later, but let's start off now that we've got our token set with creating your first image. We're going to start with photos and collages. Just tap on that and it'll bring up your galleries. So right here, you've got your Norwex backgrounds. You've got all of them here, and they've also got them broken up into different photo backgrounds that you can use. And they're categorized. There's new products, lifestyle. So you can choose from any of these. And this is going to be the base of your photo. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this one right here and tap continue. And now I'm in the editing screen. So like Casey said, we do have an easy way to change your ratios. If you go to edit layout, the little tab on the left, and then tap on ratio, you can choose original, which is square. You can choose portrait. You can choose landscape. It looks like it's taking a little bit for it to register on the screen here. And then you'll notice that when I tap them, it actually changes the picture around a little bit. So we're going to go with a portrait for Instagram here. You can also apply custom dimensions. If you look at the bottom, there's a button there. When you do that, it will bring up a little custom dimension thing. You can name it. So I know for party invitations, there's another app that you guys use. You can name it that. Change to the width and height for their pixel requirements and hit add and it'll save it right there for you. So that'll end up here. When we go ahead and tap on apply, and this takes me back to my editing screen. I can drag the photo around to show whatever I'd like in the background. I'm going to go back to add text and overlays, and you'll see the Norwex button in the bottom left. And that's your artwork button. Let me go back there. If you tap on that, this takes you to all the elements, overlays, logos, all kinds of stuff that Norwex actually provides for you. The folks up at the Norwex home office are the ones who manage all of these images. They upload them according to the marketing calendars and what they've got that comes out. But there's all kinds of stuff in here. You can have a good old time searching through here. Again, they are broken down by categories as well. So you can find different things in here. But for now, let's go ahead and I'm going to use this Norwex logo here. And you'll see where it says it's a consultant name underneath. This is one of the tokens where it actually brought my name into that logo. So now my logo is there. I like to add shadows to kind of make them pop out of the background a little bit. So you do whatever you'd like to it and you hit apply. And you can add as many of these overlays as you'd like. Let's see. We'll try host a party. And you just use your fingers to pinch and drag and all that good stuff to move it around the image. So if you're happy with that, then you just hit apply. And once you're ready to share, you tap on the done button in the top left, or top right, excuse me. And that will save your image and take you over to your sharing screen. And from here, you can share directly to your social media channels. You can do Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. And if you look all the way at the bottom, if none of these work for you, you can look at the bottom where it says more share options. If you tap on that, it will actually bring up whatever sharing options are native within your device. So they'll be different between Android and Apple. I'm on the iPhone right now. So that's what we have available. You can even airdrop. I airdrop pictures to my computer all the time. But once you've got that done, you'll go ahead and scoot on over. You can add it to your story. You can add it to your feed. And then continue through if you need to resize to fit. And then you're in Instagram at this point, going through and sharing everything. You tap your caption here and share away. So that is the first one as far as creating an image from, I call it from scratch, from starting from a base photo. So it takes a little bit of time and you can play with it. There's a lot of different features in the app, like a shape mask or different borders and stuff that you can add to it. And then you can just, take time and play with it. We do have templates as well that are already done for you for the most part. It's just adding a photo, changing a little bit of text. One thing that people do say a lot is there's not enough room for a whole bunch of text. That's done on purpose. The templates are made for you to put a little bit of text in it, keep it clean, and then you can put more details into the body of your post or your text message or some, wherever you're sharing it to. But why don't we go ahead and choose let's have a spa day. So if I pick that template, I can replace the photo if I'd like, or I can keep it. If I want to change the text, you just tap on the text there, and that'll bring up the little text editor area where I can change where I want January 15th. I'm having a heck of a time with this phone. Sorry. All right, let's try this again. If we want to put a location, no gravy. I think my thumb is just too big. Where is my town? There we go. All right. My house. And then let's see. We can say RSVP. It helps if I can type. And we'll just put in a little phone number here. And we can delete that. All right. So done. So it's got date, location, an RSVP phone number, and again at the very bottom, is my name, and that was from the token information that was in there. So if I'm happy with that, I can hit apply, and again, tap done. And now it takes me to my sharing page, and we can share from here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of this. Something that's even easier. Photofy, we like to say that you can share beautiful branding content in less than 30 seconds. Repost is a way to do that. Reposts are images that are completely done for you. They are full artwork. Some of them have a post behind them. If you tap on the repost button, again, there's a huge selection. And these are done by Norwex for you. They've got all kinds of information on them, fun stuff to share. And all you have to do is tap on a single one of them, and it's ready to go. So this is really cool with stainless steel straws. But once you've got that, all you do is tap on where you want to share to. Let's see, I don't have my Facebook in here. And then go from there. It'll take you forward through to Instagram or Facebook or wherever you're sharing to again. And so there's a bunch of those in there. Some of them do have text behind them again. If they do, you'll get a notification that says this copy has been pasted to your clipboard. All you have to do is press and hold to get to paste. Paste it when you get to your social channel. All right. So the next thing I want to show you guys is Scheduler. Scheduler may or may not have a button on your menu. It depends on if you are on Android or iOS. iOS does have it. Android does not. We are working, our dev team is working to get things where it's more fluid and like each other. It does take some time as they are completely separate apps. But no worries, because you can still get to the scheduler. The easiest way to do that is just go ahead and create an image. We're just going to go ahead and grab a template again.
While you're doing that, I'll just chime in. If you're on Android, the way to access your scheduler is actually in the menu on the home screen. So you'll click those little 3 lines at the top left corner, and you'll see scheduler on the list there.
Yes.
Instead of on the home screen.
All right. So once you've got that all set up, I'm not going to change the date. No, I guess I'm going to need to. So we will, let's see, 6:30. We'll just do that. Okay. That's processed. So to get the scheduler here, and this works for both Android and iOS here, because this will be the same. If you go down to the sharing page, you'll see schedule at the very bottom. And what you'll do is you enter the time and date that you want it to be sent. So if this party is on a Monday, let's say I want to give them 2 weeks notice, we'll just pretend it's September instead of March. And we'll send it out. Let's see, I like sending things out at around 10 a.m. We'll say 10:30. That seems to be when more people are online for some reason. Kind of covers all 3 time zones. So once you've got your date and time, oh, I forgot to do post. Let me close it. Enter a caption here. So join me for a fun party. I know when we go live, the typos come out in force. Okay. Once you hit next, it'll bring you over to select which channel you want it to go to. I only have Instagram set up, so we'll just go Instagram and hit done. And that's it. You've been scheduled. So I can manage it and go back to it and say, you know what? I wanted to add a little bit more text to that post. So if you tap on it and tap edit, you can then go back in and add some more information. And bring a friend. All right. and then save it. And now that's all in there as well. So the way Scheduler works is once you've got this in here, you want to make sure that you have your push notifications turned on. When the time comes that you've scheduled this for, it will notify you with a push notification, kind of like when you get a text message or an email, something like that. It will notify you that you've got a post ready to go. And I see a question just popped up about this for you, Darlene. It will notify you that it's time to go, and it will say, you know, tap here to go to your post. And that'll bring you to this page here where you can then tap on the image itself, and it'll allow you to edit if you need to make any other changes. If you want to add another, you know, prize or you know, you've got a new product out that's just coming out. So you can go ahead and do that and then send it on to Instagram or Twitter or wherever you've got it scheduled for. So that is the scheduler there. And then to show you what Casey was talking about, in the menu for Android, you can find scheduler right there as well. If you tap on it, it'll allow you to go see things right here. And you can actually start a post from here too. So that little add button there in the top, you can add pictures that are already done. If you've created something in the past that's in your camera roll somewhere on your phone, you can add them from here and then schedule them away. So you don't have to schedule them as you make them, but you can. The next thing I want to tell you about is projects. So saving a project on the phone, if you maybe got interrupted while you were making something, super easy to do. We'll just go ahead and pick a cool background here. Hit continue. We'll add a little element here. So I'm just kind of selecting a few things. Okay. So say I added that, but I'm not done. I got a phone call or I've got to run out and take care of the kids or something. There is an icon in the top left that looks like a piece of paper. And this will be the same on Android and iOS. Looks like a piece of paper. If you tap on that, it'll say save it as a project. You'll be able to edit this project at a later time. You can save this and then come back to it later. Now you can complete it, or if you are done and want to come back to it later, you can access it again by tapping on the menu in the top left, and you'll see the projects folder right here. From here, you can delete it because you don't want to do it any longer. You came up with a different idea, or you can open and it'll bring you right back to where you were, and you can still change, edit. I mean, you can change even the background if you wanted to. You can replace it, or the icons, artwork that you have in there. So that is saving as a project. Now this is kind of nice if you have like recognitions or something that you're going to utilize often, but you just want to change a little bit of text or change an icon, but you like the background and kind of the setup. So you're essentially making your own custom template. And you can save another project and then change the individual pieces that you want to change. The only thing that I'm going to caution you is that these are saved on your local device. They're not saved on our servers in our database. So if you do get a new device, or sometimes an operating system update or even a Photofy update can change those folders, and they can be removed from the app, which we're working on a way to fix that. But at this time, this is how it works. And my post is ready. Do I want to send the post? So this is perfect. So schedulers come up. There's my push notification. I'll tap OK. And again, it brings me back to that screen. I can either edit. I can go back and edit, or I can go ahead and just hit, yep, I want to go ahead and post it, and then go through to Instagram. So there is scheduler live. Okay. Let's see. Let's show you the inspiration stream. I've been through all the buttons. There's an artwork button. So if you wanted to start with artwork, I think I've gotten this question before where someone was saying that they were tapping a piece of artwork and it was taking them to I think I tapped on something in Spanish, taking them to the galleries. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. You start with the artwork, and then it wants you to pick a background. So from here, you can go pick a background and then continue on from there. But it starts you off with the image that you chose as your artwork piece. So let's go back. Okay, an inspiration. So as Casey mentioned earlier, Norwex does have an inspiration stream. These are images that other Norwex consultants have created. And Norwex has set it up so that you can see them just to get some ideas. And everything that is created in here is available to you. All the artwork pieces are available and ready to go. The only thing that you won't have access to are some of the really cute background images. But anything Norwex, provided by Norwex, is in here. So you can go ahead and dig through those and get some ideas of what to post and how to post. So it's good if you're kind of stuck with ideas. The last thing I needed to tell you about was dynamic text. I believe that's the last thing. I forgot to mention that when I was in here. So say I'm creating something, I like this background, and I just wanted to add some words to it. We'll go to the text tool. There is something called a text preset. It's a little difficult to see right now with this background. We'll have to move that. If you tap on create a text preset, you can add those in here. So they kind of work like tokens, but they're custom. You can add whatever you'd like in there if there wasn't a token already in there for it. So, you know, thank you for, it would help if you typed right. For your purchase. If I'm going to type that a lot, then I can add that in there. So now that's going to show right there. All you have to do is tap on it. And then you can choose your font from there. So you can do that. You can also just add text. Hit apply, and then you can move it around, change the font. Now, while you're here on the font, if you want to change the color, everything's done right through these tabs here. There's a format button. I guess I just changed that. Even though you see the circle with the lines through it, that doesn't mean that it's not working. That means that you're on the standard color. So if you tap on it, it will still bring it up, and you can then go tap on different colors. Spectrum is, it'll give you your primary color, and then it'll give you a whole bunch of different shades within that color spectrum. Alternatively, if you tap on the eyedropper tool, this will bring up a little magnifying glass, and you can choose different colors within the picture. And this comes with your Norwex subscription, and it'll say thanks, you know, whatever color you've chosen. And you hit apply. And we also have patterns and textures. You can change the size, little bits here, or you can, again, just use your fingers to tap or to squeeze and pinch and spread out. Move rotation, all kinds of good stuff. So I think I have covered all the different features here on the Norwex and Photofy subscription that I can think of that I get the most questions out of.
Cool. Thanks, Monica. So I'll let you leave that screen up, and we'll start diving into these questions. We have quite a few of them. I'm going to answer the most asked question off the top here, and get that out of the way. So I've seen a lot of conversations, and we've gotten a lot of direct questions about a desktop version of Photofy. So right now we don't have a desktop version of Photofy. We have something that is an extremely early beta. And if you had asked us, if you were at the webinars that we had earlier in the year, I would have told you that we're not really working on anything. I can tell you that today there's something that's a very early beta. I wouldn't expect it until the 1st of next year, to be totally honest. It's a little ways away. As the time gets closer, we'll be communicating a little bit more about what that looks like and how to use it. I was actually using it, our early beta, a little bit today, and it's got some work to do, but we will eventually get there. We created Photofy with the idea that most people, a lot of people have moved. Many people have moved solely to their phones as their primary computing and creation device. But we do hear a lot from especially our enterprise and business users like you guys that they really do want a desktop version. It's going to be a web-based version, so you kind of understand what to expect. But I would expect that within a few months. So let's start going through some of our questions here. One question: do we need to send all of our creations through compliance? You don't. Everything that is in Photofy has been already approved by Norwex. Norwex actually created them, added them into the system through our partnership with them. So that's all been covered with that. If you have any specific questions about the legality of claims or things you can say, you can talk to your corporate team or upstream from you about those questions. Can you save your image so you can access it later? In other words, to save a project. You have walked through that, and there's a corresponding question with that that I've seen a little bit as well, and that is if you save a project, can you come back later? If you're done, if you finish something, can you come back later and edit it? And can you share an editable version of what you've made with maybe another consultant? Both of those, so you have to actively save as a project. One thing we're looking at in the future is everything automatically saving as basically an editable project, so that you can always go back and re-edit something you made without remembering to save it. And once that's done, I think the next logical step would be if you've made a really cool template, you've made a really cool set of things in an image that you're proud of, and other people want to use it, that you can share that with them as well. What is the login for Norwex Photofy? You're on your phone. You know what? I can share mine. You can show it? Okay. Yep. Yeah, if you don't mind showing them how to sign up to begin with.
Yeah. So if you go to photofy.com/Norwex, very easy. Let me see if I can turn my phone. There it goes. All right. So from here, it's a little small because I am on my phone. But you can see in here a little bit about the subscription. There's an introduction and tour video. And if you look here, there's a get started button. So if you tap on get started, it will take you to the registration page, the registration form. First name, last name, email address, and phone number. Your email address must be the same email address that Norwex has on file for your Office Suite subscription. If it's not the same one, you will get an error saying that you don't have access. So please verify that your email address is correct. I know I've gotten a lot of customers who will be frustrated because they're entering the correct email address. Come to find out, Norwex actually has a misspelling in their email address or has an extra character like a hyphen or a dot. So make sure that whatever they have on file does match what you're trying to enter. Because our system actually goes back to theirs to verify. So, but once you're there, then you'll go back to the app. You'll get the success screen, and then it'll go back to the app and sign in, just like I showed you at the beginning.
Thanks. Can you use Scheduler to post directly to an event? No. So we don't support post. I assume you're talking about Facebook events. Or maybe you're talking about SQUI events. I'm not entirely sure. We don't support posting directly to either of those right now. And but you can always, so once you've completed your image, it's saved to your camera roll, and then you can go and post wherever you would like to from the camera roll on your device. How do you turn on push notifications? If you want to walk us through. So
Yes.
if you've loaded Photofy, the second time you open your app, it's going to ask you to approve push notifications. If you dismiss that or something, Monica will show you now how to go back and reactivate that.
So it's a little different on iOS and Android, but for Android, or excuse me, iOS, you can actually go into the menu, and at the bottom here, you'll see notifications. And this will allow you to change them right here. It'll take you over to screen. You can turn them on, turn them off, how you see them, sounds, bad, all that good stuff. So if you do this in Android, you actually have to go to your device settings. Let me see if I can actually get that here. I have my Android hooked up. Screen. Start. Switch. Yay. Okay. So from your Android, you'll go to settings, and then where is it? Apps and notifications. And then you need to locate Photofy in here. There's notifications on for all apps that you can do that. This is new. I have the new Android 10 and it's a little bit of a mess, but tap on just Photofy and you can change your permissions right here as well. So you can have show notifications, and it tells you, I guess this is a new Android 10 thing, that you get about 1 notification per week. So it'll kind of tell you what you're getting. So that is how to turn on your notifications.
Thanks. I'm going to ask you to swap back to iOS, and while you're doing that, I'll read this question.
Okay.
How do you save into a group on Facebook? So there's a few versions of this question, and we'll cover all your options here at once. So basically, we're asking, how do we post to a group on Facebook rather than your personal account or your Facebook page? The answer is different for iOS and Android. iOS, there is an option to do this. Android, there's not within Photofy.
Right. Gosh. Okay. So let me see.
And while you're pulling it up, that is a limitation of Facebook's access policies and the way they work. It's not really a Photofy limitation. We're working with Facebook to try to make that work a little bit easier for you. However, once you can always, with anything you create, you can always leave the Photofy app and then go share it wherever you need to. It's saved to your camera roll.
Okay. Sorry, I had to set Facebook up. I don't log into it on here. Okay, so to change this, what you do is I've given it access to my pages. I'm not going to click on one because then it'll actually post to it. But if you tap on this drop down box right here, it originally said my account. That's where you would change it right there. You just scroll through whatever pages you have available, type in your caption, and then hit post to Facebook. So hopefully that answers that for you. Oh wait, we had group, huh? I'm sorry.
Group was actually the question. So you can post to Facebook pages in the same way on Android. With group, unless something has changed with Facebook since the last time I did this a week or so ago, you click on my account and then click post to Facebook. On iOS, you'll actually have the option to post to a group in the next dialog that comes up.
And I'm not logged in.
Oh, you're not logged in.
No.
Just trust me. Then you'll see it. It's one of the tabs at the top. You can post to your personal page or to a group on iOS. On Android, there's just no option to post to groups right now. We're working on that. And we're working through kind of Facebook policy with that. So I don't really have an ETA on it, but you can always leave and open the Facebook app and post to your groups there. I'm going to answer some questions from chat. How do you add a selfie? It's a great question. So there's a couple options with both your camera roll and the camera capture feature in Photofy if you want to show us how to do that.
Let me take a selfie. Come on now. All right. So in the top right-hand corner of your Norwex screen, there's a camera icon. If you tap on that, you have to give it permission to access your camera. And flip. Hi. Take the picture. Oh, that's awful. Oh, well. This is just for you guys, right? And then you can add it in there. And then you can then add whatever images you want on there.
Sorry, Monica, I should have warned you in advance so you could prepare that.
I know, I should have done something. No, that's okay. Alternatively, if you have pictures on your device already, you can click on the photos and collages, go to your camera roll. Again, I don't use this iPhone very much, so I don't have a lot of stuff. But any picture that you have, you can snag and use as a background image. So pretend this is a selfie of me that I took a long time ago. And then you can add, again, whatever artwork you want over that. So.
Thank you. So while you're there, and you may want to stay just on an image. Question is, I can't figure out how to get my text in black. So you want to share with us a little bit about text coloring and maybe some shadows or something like that.
Depends on where they are. So if you have added your own custom text, you can change it. If you are talking about a template, you may not be able to change it. So if we're here on text, we're going to type hello, and then we're going to go ahead and choose our font, and then go to the format button. And then again, you can tap on fill, spectrum, or excuse me, standard, spectrum, pattern, all that good stuff. And this is how you can change the font color right here. Now, some things are actually color locked. So if you have, let me start over, template, then like I said, you may not be able to. Well, some do. So yeah, some pieces will allow you to. And again, this may work differently on Android as well. So, but the same thing, always look for the format tab. Format tab is where you'll find a lot of your color changes and patterns and such.
Cool. So question, is there a way to take a repost and then add to it or customize it to make it your own?
There is not.
Yeah, so Repost, the purpose of those really is to give you something that Norwex Corporate has made as a immediately, easily shareable piece of content that's already been pre-designed, sometimes already with text attached that will automatically share to the social channel you're posting to. Not every time, but some of them. So that's the purpose behind those. Typically, most of the assets that are in a repost are available somewhere where you could get something close to that in your just by creating content yourself. If you like something you see, many times there are options there. Not every time, but many times there are options to recreate that yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old school and print paper invitations or email invitations for people to print out from a PC. What is the pixel setting for a regular sheet of paper? At this point, I struggle with getting the right ratio settings to get a full page invitation. I'm not very techy. So there are, Monica, I'll let you walk through it. There are templates that are locked into a certain ratio that may not meet your needs if you're printing. So you may need to create just a custom invitation instead of using one of the invitation templates.
Right.
To get that ratio, but that ratio is built in, so it's easy to use.
Yep. So if you start from scratch from photos and collages, we've got, closest to full page is going to be 8x10. You can choose that and get a pretty decent print on that. But I'm not sure what a pixel ratio would be for an 8.5x11 sheet.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure either.
I wonder if, no. portrait Instagram is a little bit taller and skinnier than the 8x10. I'm thinking your best bet would be to do an 8x10. And to be
So
honest,
I Googled it. Thanks, Google. 2550 by 3300 is, so if you wanted to do a custom ratio, 2550 and then wide and then 3300 tall is going to be the pixels for an 8.5 by 11. You know, that's actually probably something we should have in the app as an option.
yeah.
So I'm going to take that back to our dev team and see how quickly we can get that added for you guys. I don't think it's going to be a difficult addition, and probably one that more people than you guys are looking at. You do have, you know, if you ever use printing services like Walmart or Walgreens to do some really cheap, quick images, you can always create your content on a 4x6. Print them, you know, for 19 cents or whatever they charge for those, and they come out really nice. There are a high res version for that you can use for printing.
That's actually my favorite way to do things anymore, because inkjet printers can get so expensive when you're printing a lot.
Right.
I end up just sending an image up to like Sam's Club or, you know, Walgreens or whatever, and just having them print out a huge bunch of photos for me, and people love them. They think they turn out so much better. So
All right.
something's wrong with my Zoom app, so I can't scroll through all these questions, unfortunately.
Okay. I'll read them off.
Cool.
How do you edit text once it's already applied to the page?
Easy. Okay, so we'll just keep it on this cool little picture. I love this background. Okay, so once we've done something to it and we've gotten past this editing screen, all you got to do, if you want to move it around the page, you tap on that, and then you can move it around. If you want to actually change what it says, tap twice really quick. Oops, sorry. Or you just tap on the little edit button. There we go. It's a little different on Android. But you can.
So we use Android more often than iOS.
Yeah, I do. But then you can. Oh, there it is. Okay. And then you can go ahead and change what it says. And then move it around. And you can still, if you need to change your fonts and colors and like that.
And everything is editable. Even if you click apply and you click done and end up on the share screen, you can click the back button and go back and edit then. Anything that you apply in this kind of edit screen is you can go back and change over and over and over again, delete, redo, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, good point, actually, Casey. If you're on this share screen, you can still go back by tapping the back button there in the top left and making changes. But once you leave that screen, you cannot change it. Once you go to start over or you close out the app, you cannot go back and change it unless you saved it as a project.
Can the app be used on an iPad? Yes, I use the app on an iPad all the time. I have an Android phone, but I also have an iPad, and that is my iOS version. Is I use an iPad every day, and it works really easily on there. So I like it. It's bigger,
Yes.
and gives you a little bit more detail when you're kind of working in smaller things. The other app you mentioned that we use for party invites, you know, I understand that you guys use Squee sometimes. We don't really have any affiliation with any other party invitations. A lot of people use Facebook events as well for those things.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are popping in late saying that they were just now able to log in. Is it being recorded? Yes, this is being recorded. You should get a link, an email after this is done, and you can watch it later.
Please help us Android people save multiple saves, etc. Not, Vicky, if you don't mind giving us a little bit more detail about what you are asking about there, I would love to answer that question. One feature we are working on, if this is what you're referring to, is the ability to kind of stamp multiple images at once. So if you have, lots of shots from a party or of new products that you got in, and you just want to kind of stick your name and logo on every one of them all at once, that's a feature that we're working on that will let you kind of handle multiple images at one time.
Mhm.
Best way to save my photo album. I have 6 empty Photofy albums. Uh, you know, um, I don't know. Kathleen, I would maybe follow up with Monica after this call. Monica is support@photofy.com. So if you email us, you're talking to Monica. So I would maybe follow up with her. That's a unique situation. I don't know that I've ever heard about before.
I haven't either because all of mine save straight to the camera roll.
Right.
We'll have to dig through that one.
What kind of creations are shared on our inspiration page? So the Norwex corporate people will look through and see kind of best creations, and then they select what they want to show up on those camera rolls. I mean, on the inspiration stream. Is a Facebook dimension for the banner or not? For banner, I assume you're talking about cover image. It is not for the cover image. However, a quick Google search can get you those dimensions and you can create that easily. I'd love to make postcards. I would also love to make postcards so printing is also on our roadmap. I can't wait until you have that. I think that will actually be sooner rather than later. So keep an eye out for an announcement on a direct print option or a direct order option for prints from us in the future. Can you put a background color behind the text to make it stand out from a busy background? Yes. You want to cover that quickly, Monica?
I can. All right. So if you're going to put some text to make it stand out, let's pick a busy picture maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I always seem to like these. These are fun. So if you want to add some text, and hello, it's just easy to type. So if we go to pick a font, make it a little bit bigger, add a background. And you can choose whatever color you'd like. Apply. And what's fun is the sliders. You can change how wide or how skinny it goes, how tall it goes. You can add rounded corners to it if you'd like, or the sharper corners, almost an oval. So you can definitely add different colors to the background.
Thanks.
Text.
Question: how much do I have to pay for the Norwex tab? You don't. Let me go back to that.
Indirectly.
So Photofy is included as part of your Norwex Office suite. So if you're paying for that, then you have access to Photofy, and you would access it the way Monica showed us a little bit earlier. Go into photofy.com/Norwex, log in or register with your same email that you have registered for Office Suite with, and then you'll get access to Photofy with that. You'll create a password, and then you'll log into the Photofy app with your username and password. Now, if you just open Photofy, it doesn't show up automatically. You'll have to click the menu icon at the top left corner and log in there. Vicky is back. I had a typo in the chat message. When I create a project, I wanted to send it to my group or event. I have to send it to my Gmail, open up the Gmail, save it to my laptop, then go to my group or event and post it. That's obnoxious. So you can use access Facebook groups within the Facebook app on your phone. And there are actually very legitimate reasons to get your images to your desktop. I prefer posting to Facebook from a desktop computer as well. Emailing it to yourself is one really easy way to do that. You can also set up
Android.
your, like a Dropbox service or OneDrive or Google Drive. All of those have free options that lets you join with kind of a smaller storage tier. And then you, from the more share options on the share screen, which is at the bottom, if you don't mind clicking done, and just so we see where that more share option is. More share option is whenever you have like a Dropbox service or something, it'll let you share directly to that, have that synced with your computer, and then they'll show up there. We were actually having a meeting with our dev team today to talk about easy ways to get easy and quick ways to get your creations, just pop it right to your desktop with a push of a button. That's something that we're in the early discussion stages about how to do that easily and kind of hold true to our quick and easy mantra here, which is really the way we want to do everything.
So with Android, here, I switched my phone over to Android. If you open up the Facebook app and go straight to the group page there, the image is saved to your device. So all you have to do is pick your photo album and you can pick from that right there. So I have all kinds of pictures in here, but grab your image, hit next, and then say something about the photo. So it is one extra step instead of saving directly from the Photofy app, but it is possible to do it on your phone and not have to go back and forth between computer and all that good stuff.
So I've been unable to open a project for a month. I'm thinking the cause is an upgrade to my phone. That's possible because they're stored locally. Sometimes an update to your phone operating system can change where things are stored, how they're accessed. That's unfortunate. We're working on a solution to bring all of those to being stored in the cloud with the rest of your data. But for now, that may be an issue. However, I called Monica and left a message and never heard back. I'm sorry, Monica. Gosh, we've actually been in the process of changing over our support system for monitoring things, and I'm quite sure that will not happen if you send her an email this time. Also,
email is definitely better for me. Phone is just so difficult sometimes. So I apologize for that.
I am Android and desktop. Yes, I agree, Vicky. I like both of those. Can you show a shadow function? If you've shown that before, right? Is that something we've covered?
I can show it again. So we'll just kind of reuse this hello here. We'll add a black shadow to it. It just kind of makes it pop out just a little bit. But you can choose whatever color you'd like. If you want gray, purple, blue. And this will work on text and most artwork pieces. Not all of them. Let's see for feedback. Casey, you have a high whining background sound feeding through that they can faintly hear.
Yeah, sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know though, and I'll mute when I'm not talking. We have a somewhat loud office environment, which Monica is smart enough to stay out of today for this call. I have multiple projects saved under the project icon. Some are from earlier in the year. When I try to open them, it immediately goes back to the home screen. However, some that I've made within the last month, when I go to the project tab and hit open, they do open. My question is, does the project tab cut off availability to older projects? No, it doesn't. Are you familiar with the fix? Because this is not the first time I've heard of this, although I don't know that we've ever actively reproduced this problem in our development.
Not. I've heard it several times from customers, but neither myself nor the dev team have been able to reproduce it. It may have, again, something to do with updates. It could also depends on how many you have. I do know that they take up a lot of space, and too many of them may bog the system down a little bit because they are saved on your local device. I know we recommend not saving any more than 10 as far as support goes, but we haven't been able to figure that out.
There are definitely people who have saved like 100 and
Yes,
it still work. So it's hard to say. Any information that you can send us about your phone, the version that you're running, would really help us figure out the solution to that. Can we create Facebook banners and group banners with Photofy on a tablet? You can with custom dimensions, absolutely. And so we're working on some UI updates that will, or interface updates that will give you, make it really clear a lot of additional options that you can use for common tasks like that. So we'll be adding to those soon. But you can also make them just with a custom dimension. If you look that up on Google, plug it in and make whatever you want.
And we'll work on Android and iOS tablets, iPads. The only ones that we don't work on or we don't support anymore are the Amazon Kindle devices. They run their own version of Android, not a more public version. But most, like Galaxy tabs and all that good stuff we'll work on. But you do need to have at least iOS, I believe it's version 6. And then Android, you need to have at least version.
We've moved up our iOS version.
Have we? Okay. I'm gonna have to get that from you guys and put that on our support page then.
I don't think we support anything prior to 9 or 10. So we do need to.
Okay.
We'll get the right answer and we'll put that on the support page for you guys. Okay. If you're using an older phone, there are issues that may arise when it's old enough that they don't update the operating system for it anymore.
Well, and I'm going to warn everyone, if you have a Google Pixel, do not update to Android 10 right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I did it yesterday and it broke all kinds of good stuff.
So can you open Photofy app from Android and log in from now, or do we need to go to the Norwex site first to create? So if you have never created your Photofy account, you'll need to do that at photofy.com/Norwex and log in, register with your Norwex Office Suite email. If you received the email invitation to this, chances are you are already an Office Suite user. So you would just use that email address and that should give you the access. Then you'll log into the Photofy app with the account you created at photofy.com/Norwex. Yeah, so I'll just kind of reiterate again. This session is recorded. Sometime tonight or maybe first thing in the morning, our process can get a little bogged down and run slow sometimes. You'll get an email with a reminder to the link that will let you access this, the recording from this, and you can actually see the chat window and everything. You can come back and watch it anytime. And if you come back within an hour or so after this is done to the link that you got to come to originally and after you registered, then you will be able to probably start watching it around that time. It takes an hour or two for it to do all the encoding or whatever it does to make this available. And then it'll be available for you to watch, rewatch, pause, do whatever you want to with it after that. Yeah. I just went to projects, click open. Okay, I think we've covered that. If you have feedback, please send it over to support@photofy.com. If you're having issues with projects, help us track down what that issue is. Yes. I've just finished a project while listening. I need to go back in and edit. I can't find it in the projects. That's supposed to do something special to save it. Yeah, so you have to click the Save Project button, which we'll review again here, which is the
piece of paper. Oops.
yeah, the
So if you,
second button. There's the home, and then there's the piece of paper. You'll click that to save it as a project.
yep, you can name it and save it.
All right, I think that we have accomplished all of the questions. Great questions. This was a really fun webinar. Thanks to everyone who came. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate Norwex. I love the vision behind it, which I know is why all of you signed up to sell as well. And we've really enjoyed getting to know all of you and answering all of the questions. If you have any additional questions after this, you can always email support@photofy.com and or find us on social media or wherever you choose to. And
we do have some self-help stuff too at support.photofy.com. If you go under enterprise subscription support there, we'll have a section right here for Norwex where you have some Q&A there, and then you have the ability to send a trouble ticket in that we'll be able to get back to you on.
Yeah, and we appreciate all the feedback, especially on desktop versions and all the new features that you guys want. Love it because it means you're using the app, and hopefully you're finding it useful. And love the feedback on how we can help make it more useful for you. So feel free to keep that coming in. You can also email support@photofy.com for that as well. And we appreciate it. Thank you all again very much for coming. Again, this is recorded. Keep an eye out on your email. We will send it to you. Also, if there are people who that you got some help from this, you want to share it with people who didn't register. Anyone that is a Norwex subscriber or Norwex consultant can come back and register for the webinar at any time and then watch the recording. So if they missed out on registration, let them know that it's easy to come and just come back anytime to that registration link, watch it at any point. So again, we thank you very much. And we will talk to you soon. Looking forward to see what you create with Photofy. Thanks.
Bye.